Hello, I'm Adam Nigro, commercial advertising photographer based in beautiful Montreal, Canada. And today I'm going to show you my process of how I get clients in the advertising space. So step one is the most important step of this whole process, and that is you have to have good work. You have to have a good portfolio. If you don't, stop watching this video right now because everything I'm about to say is not gonna matter and it's gonna make your life a hell of a lot more difficult. And how do you know you have good work? People tell you your work is good. You go to portfolio reviews and have your stuff brutally analyzed by creative directors who have been in the industry for 20 years. There's one called the One Club for Creativity. They do a biannual portfolio review in a variety of different cities, and that is a great opportunity to get some real life feedback from professionals in the industry. And it's gonna hurt, it's gonna sting sometimes, but you need to hear this stuff to grow. So the next thing you want to do is get a professional email address if you don't already have one. And this is pretty important for boosting your credibility because think about it. If somebody was pitching me services through email and I'd never heard of this person, if they had just like a @Gmail address, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. It's a really small thing, but it actually makes a huge difference. And when you're doing this kind of cold outreach, anything you can do to boost your odds, the better. Also, I think it's a good idea to have a profile picture in your email, and that just helps build rapport with the person on the other side so that they can, see your face and see who's behind these messages. So the next step is to build a professional LinkedIn profile. And this is going to be your primary prospecting tool to find clients. So you want to put your profile picture up there, your title, where people can find your work, your website, and a bio with maybe some interests and that kind of thing. And then you start adding as many creative directors and art directors and producers as LinkedIn will allow you. I think they put a cap on maybe 100 connects per month. It doesn't matter if they know who you are. You basically just want to create the illusion that you are someone connected in this industry. When you're sending these emails, if they have you on LinkedIn, you might trigger a little memory saying, oh, I've heard that name before. So another cool thing about LinkedIn is it's a very powerful marketing tool. So take, for example, this campaign I shot recently. I made sure to tag every single person involved in this project. And then what happens is that project will show up on that person's feed. And so every single other person that person is connected to will see that, see your name, see your work. And look, I only have like 300 something people on my LinkedIn that I'm connected to, but this post got 4,000 something impressions. The next thing you should do is download an email scraper. I use scrap.io. And I think it cost me like $100 for 5,000 connections. It's a Chrome extension that allows you to find anyone's email address on LinkedIn. You just click their name and it pulls up their email address. And I've noticed it's got about a 70 or 80% accuracy for this. So another thing you might want to download as an extra tool in your toolbox is called HubSpot. It's another Chrome extension, and it basically is It's a CRM tool, but it has a built-in email tracker, which allows you to see when your emails are opened and how many times they're open. So the last thing you want to do is create a way to track your correspondence with these prospects. And I just use Google Sheets. It's a super rudimentary CRM tool. So basically I've got the client name and all the contacts that go on the leftmost column. And then every week of every month, go after that. And this is basically so you can track all your correspondence. When you send emails, when you follow up, what response they had to your emails. If they tell you to F off, put that in there, maybe color code it red so you don't reach out for a couple months. So you want to fill this spreadsheet with a list of agencies in and around your city. I live in Canada, so I chose Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. You can find a list of these agencies online through a simple Google search. Some publications like Strategy Online for Canada shows you the top 100 agencies every year. Really good place to start. Now that all that stuff is set up, it's time to dive into LinkedIn and we're gonna start finding some people to contact. So let's take an example client here. Let's aim high, let's go with Nike. And you click Nike, and then you click on employees, and this will bring up a list of pretty much every person that works at the company that has a LinkedIn account. And you're gonna be looking for anyone that has creative or art director in the title or brand creative in the title. Here we go, Melissa, senior brand creative at Nike. That sounds like a great person to contact. So what I do is I click her name, and then I go up here to my little Chrome extension Scrap.io, and then boom, there's Melissa's email address. And the great thing about this is not only do I have Melissa's email address, but I have found every single person at Nike's email address, because they usually all have the same structure. In this case, it's first name dot last name, but it could be first initial last name, etc., but they're usually always the same. So that's great. It means I just had to use one credit from my Scrap.io, and I don't have to repeat this process for every single person. I just have to find their name and then assume that it's going to be the same email. So here's how I send an email. So I paste Melissa's email address here, and then I go down to this very handy feature called templates, and you can create a bunch of templates for a variety of purposes. I've got this one here called Hello Thirsty Yet. And then I actually put Melissa's name in the subject, and I don't put her name, but I put her nickname. What you're trying to accomplish here is you're trying to make it seem like you're not spam. And as far as I know, it's very hard for a spam bot to replicate nicknames of people. If the person on the other end gets even the slightest hint that this might be spam, it is straight to the trash bin for you, and your message will never get open. And it might even get put on a blacklist, and you'll never be able to get in touch with anybody at that company ever. So you want to be very careful with that. So this email template was created through hours of research, watching YouTube videos on cold sales techniques, as well as my 6 years of experience working at a sales company doing cold outreach like this every single day. Just look at what you see when you receive an email. Most people just read the preview line, and if they detect spam, boom, straight to the trash bin. You're trying to pique their curiosity to open your email and read further. So here's what I write. Hello, Melissa, and I use their full name here. I wanted to quickly introduce myself. I am a commercial photographer based in Montreal. Tell them who you are, who specializes in food and beverage advertising imagery. Tell them what you do. I help my clients increase their brand awareness through bold, impactful, and sometimes unorthodox visual content. Tell them how you help your clients. Recently, I've been shooting for Cidre La Croix for the launch of their new peach flavor of cider. Some of those images can be found below. So you want to basically reference a recent project you've done to help boost your credibility again, or you can just reference some images that you've shot. So the part in bold here is something specific to that client, and you're going to have to do a little bit of research here. So something about them or their company, and you can find that information easily on LinkedIn, on their Instagram, on their website. You want to make it look like you put a little bit of effort into figuring out who they are. Personalizing it shows them that it isn't just a marketing message. You want to make it look like you wrote it to them. So yeah, I would love an opportunity to have a virtual meeting with yourself or any member of your creative team to formally introduce myself and chat about how I might be able to help on a freelance basis. Then you propose an action item. You want to have a clear ask, something that makes it easy for them to respond, and you're trying to get a meeting with them. So I say, are you free for a 15-minute chat next week? I'm available Thursday at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern, and Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. Any of those times work for you? Thanks so much. I look forward to connecting. Then I have this eye-catching brochure. It's just something I created in Photoshop using images I just shot from a recent campaign. I also have this GIF embedded in the email, and both are hyperlinked to my website. And you want to compress them down. About 1 megabyte is good. Anything above a meg, you risk being thrown into their spam filter, or your message might not even get out the door because there's too much data embedded in the actual email. Then I have this professional signature, again made in Photoshop, and I've hyperlinked all these icons down here. So this will bring you to my LinkedIn, my Behance page, as well as my website. And then I click send on the email and I wait. and I wait 7 days. And if they haven't responded to that email in 7 days, I send a follow-up email. And again, I have a template for that. It goes something like this. Good morning, Melissa. I hope you're having a great week so far. I know you're super busy, so I just wanted to pop this to the top of your inbox with this message. Would love to connect to see if there's an opportunity to collaborate. Free to discuss next week? I'm free Thursday at 2 and Friday from 1 to 3 Eastern. Any of those work? Thank you so much, Adam. And it might seem a little pushy, that follow-up email, but it works. You'd be surprised how many people book a call with you after sending that follow-up message. And then if they don't respond to your follow-up, you've waited the 7 days, you sent the follow-up email, you wait another 7 days, then you find another contact at their agency and you repeat the whole process again. And then you don't reach out to that first contact for another 2 or 3 months. You don't want to be hassling these people. Sometimes they just don't have a project for you right away. And if you send them new work in about 3 months, they might respond. And I've had that happen time and time again. So you're gonna get a couple bounce backs or notifications that the email was undeliverable or that person doesn't exist at the organization. And that's just part of it. Like I said, the email scraper is about 70 to 80% accurate. So I aim for about 100 emails a week at a minimum. That's 20 emails per day. And you can even do it the night before as like a schedule send for the next morning. I find that sending emails in the morning at 8:05 a.m. is best. You should be aiming for about a 5% response rate. Anything less than that, you might want to go back and reevaluate your portfolio because sometimes your work is just not good and people don't respond. And maybe the most important thing from this whole video is that aside from the portfolio being good, is you have to maintain a positive attitude. You have to not get discouraged because you're gonna send out hundreds, if not thousands of emails and have no sign of life on the other side, but you just have to keep going. It's about building a habit. It's about being consistent. You have to do this every freaking day. You can't just do it for a week and be, oh, I didn't get any projects from this. If you do this for 2 months straight, you will see results. So the whole point of all this is to try and get a call going with that art director, that creative director, that producer, so that you actually get FaceTime with these people. FaceTime is so valuable because they actually get to see you, they get to have a sense of your personality. This whole thing is a relationship industry. People want to do business with people that they like. On that call, you're basically just going to be walking them through some of your work, maybe tell them how you shot this or some of the challenges you encountered, and ask them too. Ask them what they like to work on. Ask them about their life too. That's what it's all about, is creating that rapport, creating that relationship, and putting that little seed in their brain so next time that project comes across their desk, they think, oh yes, Adam is the guy that is going to be a great fit for this project. If you employ these strategies and you maintain a positive attitude and your portfolio is good and you commit to this hustle, you will find work. So that's it. That's all I got for this time. I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I've had a lot of people ask me about it. Let me know your experiences. Let me know if there's any tips or techniques, maybe some automation techniques in my email process that might improve the whole thing. I would love to hear from you. Always looking to learn myself. So good luck out there. And until then, happy frickin' photography.